surprised. I'm just going to run with this. I've got to see it. We were in the whale. All these lovely lights. We're just doing a big clean up from the wonderful confirmation suit. I'm here with the gorgeous Orlagh. You've got over 5 locations, over 100 pupils. So you're deep into a lovely part of your life that you just started only last year, was it? I think
I am September 2017. Yes.
Well done. Now you yourself, a lot of the kids that you've got would be a little bit like the 4-year-old Orlagh Carty. You fell in love with Irish music. You went to the Hunter School.
I did.
You ended up with 3 All-Ireland and international titles, 6 of the provincial titles. So it must have been pretty obvious to you as a young girl. Oh, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I did start obviously as any other young girl started doing something that they didn't quite know where it would go, but look, that's what happens. When I was about 7 or 8, I think my mum and dad kind of realised that this is something that she was very passionate about and also quite good, so they didn't really know where it was going to go, but 20 years later, obviously here I am and I have my own pupils, so it's very exciting.
Well, you had a lot of fun along the way, of course, as you should. Yes. And I know in 2011, for example, you were with Norfu. You did the TV show.
Yes.
Was it called Dance Off? Or?
Dance Off, yeah. It was a 6-part series.
So that, I don't know whether that was at a certain point in your career, and obviously then in 2013 you joined the Riverdance, and they were doing their 20th anniversary tour. I don't know at a certain point I don't know if you could pinpoint and say, oh, this is actually my life now. I can do this as a living, as opposed to this is a weekend fun thing. Or
I suppose it was in 2011. So I was heading into my final year of school. So it was the summer before I went into 6th year, and that was my very first time to really realise that I could take my passion on to something outside of school, after school. I mean, going into 6th year, everyone's talking about college and university, and that just wasn't me. So that summer it really changed my life. So I went into my studies then knowing that I will potentially have something after this with my dancing and not just from studies. So that was definitely where I thought, okay, I can do this. I just obviously had to work very hard.
I want to make sure you're okay with your number one fan is just beside us here. He likes to be close to you whenever you're doing any kind of public interview. That's a lovely day. I should ask too, I was thinking on the way down about the secret of Irish music. Every somewhere, for me it's somewhere between Morris dancing and flamenco. There's a sort of quite stiff at times, but then there's also a great expressive, joyful part of it too.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, if you're really good at it, I was just thinking, if you have your phone in your back pocket, you can text while you're dancing, which is kind of handy. But is there I don't know whether there are roots to it that sort of recognise that this is where it all came from. Is it just a natural, I guess, organic, that a country would have its own particular style of dance?
Yeah. I suppose, originally it was very stiff and still is today. It's only, in the competitive side of Irish dancing, you have the straight arms by your side, shoulders back, head up.
Nice.
And it's literally just the feet moving and talking. They do all of the talking, but when you go into the performance side of Irish dancing, yes, Riverdance is very much the same, but there are a few elements where your arms are used, and that shows a little bit more expression, I suppose.
It is, there's also the theory that the British banned dancing, so the Irish worked out a way to be able to still dance behind shrubbery and small hedges without being spotted. I think that's kind of works too. So, from your own career point of view, the 1993 kind of joining, 2013 I should say, joining the 20th anniversary of Riverdance. Riverdance was at the Eurovision 1994, so I missed some the day we did it in school, but I thought 2014 was the 20th anniversary.
So 2013 was when I joined, and I was then offered the 20th anniversary tour that began in the January of yes. Apologies.
So when it came to starting up your own school, I'm guessing too that was a sort of a natural progression of all these years of passion and knowledge and all that. Was it a big decision? Was it a kind of a sleepless night or two? Just thinking,
it was a big decision. It was always something that I knew I wanted to do down the line. I just wasn't sure where in my life it was going to fit, and obviously, giving up the touring side of thing, it wasn't easy because you have such a lavish lifestyle and you're touring the world and you're with a lot of friends and life is so easy, and then you come back to reality and you think, okay, so I really need to kind of start. Not back from the beginning, because that's not what it is, but it's obviously hard to come from this high of performing every night to thousands and thousands of people to then say, okay, I need to go to real life and a Monday to Friday sort of job. But mine is obviously interesting. I'm teaching young children and older children, and it's so fun, and every single week is different and you don't know what it's going to bring, but it was the biggest decision that I've had to ever make, I suppose, making that transition.
That kick that you've gotten from being on stage from quite an early age, and certainly performing in front of people, that's going to be available to a lot of your kids now when they come here to perform. as part of the show with Peter Sheridan's Made in Dublin, we obviously, we were talking beforehand, I mean, these are beginners, so they have this, obviously this wonderful wide-eyed kind of sense of what's possible, and for them to go in front of their hometown would be just a great kick for them. I mean, how many you've got about at the moment? I think there's about 20 maybe performing on the night, or
so we'll see around near and about.
Sure.
We'll see. Just depending on how well we get in rehearsals, we'll see. But hopefully 15 to 20, we'll see who arrives on the day. But these children, like I say, have some started back with me in my very first class, because Greystones was my first class that I ever started. So this is really exciting. These
naturally was the most talented, beautiful kids. You really want to sort of start at the top. And then
exactly, so some of them were at my very first class, and some have only been dancing since October and November, and a couple of them just quite recently, a few weeks ago. So they will all be partaking in little bits, the different routines, depending on how well they're coping with it. I don't want to scare the children, or I want to give them a sense of what it's like, but also I have to remember they're very young, very young. So we're talking 4-year-olds. So it's going to be a big thing for them. But I think my dancing school, that's what I'd like to bring into the school, is little performances, not the competitive side of just Irish dancing. I am interested in that side of it, but the performance side for me obviously is something I love, so I would love to teach them about that side of things.
That's where the real joy is, really. It's not about a competition.
There's no pressure. It's just about putting on stage what you learn in class. So.
I should say the last thing, everything good in life tends to have a side effect. The only side effect I can think of for Irish dancing is that if you stick at it long enough, you might end up with, as Michael Flatley has proven, kind of best in show poodle hair. It just seems to happen that you get this sort of mullet thing that happens to your hair without even noticing. Now I know that Irish dancing warns kids, because they give them wigs early on just to let them know this could happen in real life if you stick around. You've obviously survived that. It was just like a lot of diligent combing of your hair and making sure it doesn't...
long hair straightening.
And you're teaching the kids that as well, because it would be a shame.
We'll teach that. I have
Good. It's health and safety.
Absolutely.